Hello everyone, this is Tempest Scout 2. Sorry if I sound a little odd, I have a cold and I'm a little stuffed up. This is my first gun review. I've been shooting for less than a year now, but getting close. And I've had quite a few guns, and I recently purchased a gun about 6 months ago that and has now become my favorite. And I haven't seen a whole lot of reviews online about this particular gun in particular, so I decided that I would do one of my own. And I'm doing a review of the Kimber Micro Carry. It is a 380 ACP caliber. The barrel is just about 2.75 inches long. The gun weighs 14 ounces, actually just shy of that. It's about 4 inches high and about 5.5 inches long. It's basically the same gun as the Sig Sauer P238. I had actually owned that before this one and sold that so I could buy this one. And I have to say they're very similar. There's really not a whole lot of difference to them other than a few aesthetic differences. Mainly the slide is a lot more rounded off on this one. The beaver tails maybe a little sharper. There's a couple little things like the slide release is a little more textured. Same with the mag release button. There's a little bit of texture up here on the sights. The sights on the Sig Sauer are kind of straight up and down, so they have a tendency more to catch on things, where these are beveled, a little smoother, pulling out of a pocket or something like that, so that might be a benefit. The trigger is aluminum rather than plastic like the Sig Sauer, so I guess that's a plus. I believe the barrel on the Sig is stainless steel as well. This has a stainless steel guide rod. Can't remember if the Sig has that or not. I put my own grips on this. Had some custom grips made by Michael Gailey of SGM Grips. He makes a lot of different grips for a lot of different guns, including the Sig P238 and the 938, as well as the Kimber Solo. But most of the stuff he does is for 1911s. These are African redwood with a starburst pattern. It actually grips really well and adds just kind of a little unique look to it. The previous grips were actually pretty nice themselves. They're actually kind of a textured rubber feel to them, so they grip really well. But I just thought all black is a little bland for me, and I thought that add a little flair with the red, makes this look a little bit more unique. So talking about this gun and some other guns that are similar to it, I would say this is a pocket gun, so it's kind of in the realm of the PM9 or I guess P380, the Glock 42. What else? Yeah, there's a few others. There's similar size. Here's a comparison of Glock 42 next to it. It's a little bit shorter than the Glock 42, but the heights are pretty similar. The widths are very similar as well as the weight. This is, believe it or not, slightly thinner than the Kimber Solo, or Kimber Micro Carry, only because the grip is slightly wider with the thumb safety, slightly wider than the Glock 42. The sights on these are not night sights, they're just a white painted dot. They're actually really nice. They line up very nicely, and I like them. You can get night sights with one of the more expensive models, CDP, which gets you the laser grips as well by Crimson Trace, but that gun retails for over $1,000. So this one I picked up on Gunbroker for, I believe, just under 500. So all said and done, by the time I got to my gun dealers and paid the shipping and everything, was about 600, which is probably what I expect to find these at in a retail store. So I saved a little bit buying online. It's become my favorite gun. It's a gun I've been carrying. It's nice and light. It's very thin. It's very small compared to a full-size 9mm. Here's a Walther P99, just to give you kind of an idea of just how small this gun is. I mean, it's a tiny gun. If you like tiny guns, this gun is the gun for you. It has a really nice trigger, single action. It's a 1911 style gun, so it has a single action trigger. Just barely any uptake at all. You squeeze this trigger, you put a little pressure on it, and you're dropping the hammer. It's single action only, so you're gonna have to cock the hammer every time. I carry it hammer cocked with the safety on, and I prefer not to carry around in the chamber. It's completely safe to do so. Millions of people have been doing it with the 1911 for a very long time. It's definitely safe to do that. I just prefer not to. But that's how I carry it. It comes with one magazine, unfortunately. It comes with just the flush mount, which it definitely is flush mount, which is pretty nice. It actually sticks out a little bit on the bottom, which I don't mind at all because it actually helps to hold my two fingers on there. It gives me a little bit better grip. I just kind of tuck this finger underneath there, and that doesn't bother me at all when shooting this. I've kind of gotten used to shooting small guns. I really enjoy them. Some people may not like that. If you prefer to have a 3-finger grip, they do make an extended magazine. It actually is a 7-round magazine. Here's their extended. They have this plastic piece that's mounted to it. And it allows you to get that pinky onto there. And I have some fairly large hands and thick fingers, and I can get that 3rd finger on there no problem. Definitely makes it more comfortable. I actually carry it this way, not because of the extended grip, but because it gives me one more round, and I just like to have 7 rounds instead, especially since I'm not carrying one in the chamber. So for me, that's the only reason I'm doing it. And then I just carry another magazine, 7-round magazine with me in this. I do have a holster for it. It's made by Concealment Solutions. Jason is the owner. He makes them out of his garage. This is actually for a 6 Sauer P238, but it fits really well actually. It's pretty firm. It rocks a little bit this way, but that's only because the slide is wider on the top on the 6 Sauer P238, and so it has a little bit of wiggle, but it is definitely not gonna fall out of there. It's pretty firm, but it's a good holster. I'm actually gonna start considering ankle carry. and we'll see how that goes. Might do a review with that once I receive it, start carrying it, and tell you what I think about it. But this gun at only at less than 14 ounces can definitely serve that purpose. As far as the ease of use, I would say this gun, if you can practice with it, I would highly recommend anyone practicing a lot with a gun that they first get, even dry firing. Practice, dropping the, disengaging the safety, and putting your gun on target and pulling the trigger and dry firing it. I would highly recommend that for anyone, and do that a lot, and put the safety back on and draw from your holster. Practice doing that. I always do it unloaded. I just think that's a lot safer to do as far as drawing from your holster, even if you're not going to pull the trigger. But it's definitely a different manual of arms compared to like a Glock or a double action gun like a revolver. This gun definitely takes some practice, but once you do, it is a very easy gun to shoot. It's very comfortable. My dad I recently have gotten him into shooting, and he's relatively new. Hasn't really had a whole lot of experience. Out of the I had a Glock 26, and then I had the Glock 42, and I have the Walther P99, and this. And out of all 4 of those, he preferred this over all of them, even the full size 9mm. And that thing is very comfortable to shoot. And he really enjoyed this the most. He said it's the most comfortable. The recoil is very soft. Much softer than any of the other 380s that I've shot, or smaller guns. Definitely softer than the Glock 42. And the one thing to notice about this one, for anyone that has a tough time racking slides, that has grip issues or arthritis, this thing is super buttery smooth. Super easy to rack that slide. Compared to the Glock 42, I mean, this thing, it's pretty stiff. It's not the easiest thing to rack in the world. It's no PPK. I had one of those, and that thing is ridiculously hard to rack. But it is definitely a challenge to rack the Glock 42. It's not going to be for someone that has grip issues. It's not going to be your gun that you're it's not going to be the gun that's easiest. So this gun is definitely that for anyone who has issues with that. This gun is for you. It's really easy to rack. Other than that, I really can't think of anything bad to say. I have put about 350 rounds through this at the range. I've put 50 of them were hollow points, ran through it just fine. I haven't had one hiccup at all. No failure to feeds, no failure to ejects, nothing. And I've been firing through, Freedom Munitions. I believe it's 124 grain, flat nose, round points, and they feed perfectly fine through this. Have had no issue whatsoever. I think the hollow points, I had some Corbon, and then I've shot the new Sig Sauer 380 hollow points. I've also put 25 of those through here, and those are what I carry, and they function just fine through this. So no reliability issues. I know that the Kimber Solo has had quite a bit of issues. I have seen online a very select few people that have these that have had issues on their first outing, most of the time it's because they didn't clean it the first time they took it out. It sounds like that actually is a legitimate issue that they may have trouble running if you don't clean it. But once you clean it, once you run some rounds through it, it works just fine. I haven't had any issues at all. I haven't really heard anyone else having too many issues at all either. So anyways, that's my review. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment and I'll try to answer any of those. Again, I would highly recommend this. I love this gun. This is a gun that I'm holding on to, and I'm giving it to my son when he gets old enough, which I can't say about too many other guns that I've had recently, which I've had quite a few, and have gotten rid of most of those. So yeah, this is a winner. Anyways, take care. Hope you enjoyed this video, and be safe out there. Happy shooting.